9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Wednesday on WWT Live. Obviously, of course, you know, we have Timeless Elite Wednesday at the top of the hour. For all you guys and ghouls, it'll be Fright Night. And I know I'm not in costume, but I will be for AEW Dynamite. But I'm not doing this alone. I'm always happy to have any one of my co-hosts join me, but it's always a treat when I always have her on. She's like me. She does pageants. She loves wrestling. We just love doing what we do best. So I'm excited to have my pageant sister, Victoria Waco, in the building.
Hey. We're like, it's like almost like Crown. It should be like Crown Confidentials when we're together.
Oh my goodness. I think that would be something. I feel like we need to do like a segment. Boss Lady TK, I feel like we need to do a segment called Crown Confessions, because this is like pageants and wrestling and everything. I think this is something, you may be onto something. But how are you? But how are you on this Wednesday?
I am doing good. We are, it's almost Halloween. I love me a good Halloween. So excited to, talk about all the news with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel like it's been a very productive day. Of course, there's so much wrestling happening during the week, but of course we have to happen. So you probably know over the weekend, there was all these cryptic videos that happened over the weekend during Halloween Havoc. We were talking about this on Monday, but of course, the secret has been solved, because apparently those cryptic videos were related to an ad talking about WrestleMania in Vegas next year. Obviously, there has been a lot of mixed reactions to this, because a lot of people thought it was probably towards the vision and who was going to be the next up and everything else. And Victoria, I just want to get your thoughts on how you felt with this whole concept.
I mean, should have known it wasn't going to be some awesome surprise. Also, once again, I would just like to tell TKO, I don't need Brock Lesnar in my life.
That's very true. I think for me, because I'm actually going to take a PR route for this, because there's a lot of interesting elements when it comes to this, because obviously, of course, in any campaign, you really want to have a strategic approach and everything else. Is normally, WrestleMania, it does a campaign all year round, and usually they try to do it when it gets a little bit closer. It does seem a little bit odd that they're teasing this now. I mean, I get WrestleMania is one of the biggest events of the year and everything else, but usually now is the time to really promote war games. I feel like now is the time for war games. I mean, obviously WrestleMania until next year, and obviously we do have Rumble, but I just think it's kind of a little bit of a timing issue, strategic timeline. But I don't know. I'm not in those rooms. It's just pretty interesting to see that happening. But I just think it should have been more focused on war games. But obviously, of course, if TK was here, she would talk about the money part, because at the end of the day, it's just pretty much about the money, the sponsorships, the businesses, the strategic brands, like everything else. Because obviously, we know WrestleMania is the wrestling of Super Bowls. So, of course, they really want to bring in the corporate sponsors and pay in all that debt they owe.
That is true. I was wondering, because they have released, I think, single day tickets at this point. Or the last time I checked, I could be wrong. I know like 2 packs were open for both days. I'm wondering if they're not getting the return they thought they would.
That's also another question too. Shout out to Eric Isaac in the chat, and shout out to Jeffrey in the chat. Happy Wednesday, everybody. That's actually very interesting, because obviously, of course, there's just so many things happening. But also, I want to hear another opinion from our other co-host that's in the building from the West Coast. Shout out to Kay McCoy in the building. How are you, sir?
Apologies for my tardiness. I was writing my local congressman my anger about this WrestleMania 42 teaser, and that's why you should declare war against TKO in the WWE and send. There we go.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy because you were just talking about this on Monday too, saying it's a possibility. And it was just like, man, because I was saying this from, if you don't know my day job, I work in PR. I work closely with people that work in socials. It's just very interesting, the timeline, because we are now into war games. We should be promoting war games right now because I know WrestleMania is next year.
Oh yeah, that one. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was spitting at my camera like Triple H for my disgust again at this program. Yeah, Courtney, Victoria, what up, shawty? Good to be with you today. We were talking about this on Monday, how everyone was hyping it up of a possible return, Legado del Fantasma reunion. Could it be John Cena's final opponents? I hit him with the and unfortunately, to spit on you and tell you it's rain on your parade, that this was simply a WrestleMania Vegas promo, an announcement for an announcement. And there might be an announcement for another announcement. And the announcement will be, hey, fans, F you, LOL, we got your money. If you are a professional wrestling fan, a lover of WWE, you should be thoroughly disappointed and angry by this. And TKO continues to just not read the room. They continue to not understand the fan. They don't understand what they have purchased with professional wrestling. You cannot treat this like the UFC. This is an entirely different demographic of fans, of watchers, of creeds, of anybody who enjoys the product. And they continuously remain tone deaf to the prices, to the way events are presented, to promos. I mean, give me the WrestleMania Goes Hollywood type of promos where you had the wrestlers front and center promoting the brand and reenacting famous Hollywood movies. Batista, you talking to me? Remember how popular that was? Remember how great it was to see John Cena and JBL?
Yep.
Reenact A Few Good Men, A Few Good Men. What happened to that? What happened to the entertainment part of World Wrestling Entertainment? Now it's World Wrestling expensively taking your money for everything, including your firstborn child and your mortgage. So this just is very disappointing to like see this. It kind of just summons up TKO WWE right here.
Yeah, that's always something. And yeah, you went back to the promos. Like I remember when they did like Pulp Fiction and Triple H did the oh god, I forget the movie, but Tom Hanks was in that movie. But it was just so good seeing like those commercials and promos. And also people were questioning there was not many females, but I'm not gonna hold anything. It may happen in the future, but teaser for WrestleMania in Vegas next year, because we know it's going to be in April. Yes.
But here's the thing, Courtney, even if they do put out a women's wrestling promo, it's going to feel inauthentic.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was taped or created before the backlash of it, why just not release it at the same time? So whatever they pull out now is going to feel like, well, we're going to scurry and put something together. There's no reason why you couldn't have Becky Lynch in this. There's no reason why you couldn't have Rhea Ripley, who is possibly the most popular woman on the roster. Like Rhea Ripley just did a meet and greet in Hot Topic, and my fellow goths, it's not a phase, mom. All of my emos pulled up on Rhea Ripley just to be like, what is happening here? So, you know, there are women who transcend the sport more than the men do. Because if you see this promo poster and you explain Cody Rhodes, okay, cool, that's Dusty Rhodes' son. Roman Reigns, okay, this The Rock's cousin. I saw him in like Young Rock. Okay, cool. CM Punk, oh yeah, I'm familiar with CM Punk. But then you got to explain Brock Lesnar and what he doing there.
Yeah.
You know, then you got to explain Triple H there. And then the guy who's not even a wrestler, Triple H is not a wrestler anymore. He has had to retire, you know, and it's just like, why is the head of creative? Why is the booker there? And people say, well, Vince McMahon was on posters. If Vince was on any poster, it was because he was in the storyline. He was going to get his ass whooped
Yep.
or be responsible for somebody getting their ass whipped. But Vince had a reason to be there. He was involved. Triple H is not taking any type of physical contact at WrestleMania. He's just there because either he wants it or TKO wants to make him the Dana White of this. And we don't want to see Dana.
No.
You know, like
Yeah.
nobody want to see Dana White. Sit down. We want to see UFC fights. So it's just messy. It's just it don't taste good, y'all.
I mean, when he was at WrestleMania, almost everybody booed him.
Yeah.
As deserved.
That part. I mean, need I say more? But we shall see. And you hit the nail on the head. Authenticity when it comes to these commercials. Authenticity.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure there's going to be more happening. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of buzz happening later in the week, but we shall see on that because, WrestleMania is in April of next year. Single tickets will be on sale soon. And obviously, of course, it's going to be a lot of buzz. So hopefully we shall see between now and April next year. But speaking of women that you think should be on the commercial, this woman right here, we did get the news courtesy of Fightful that Chelsea Green made a 5-year extension to WWE. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful was the first to report that Chelsea Green signed a new deal with WWE and provided an update that, as I mentioned, the extension is 5 years. And as you know, she has been with Ethan Page. Her and Ethan Page have the Canadian administration, and also she has been on Friday Night SmackDown, but not recently, the last couple of weeks. But yeah, just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on her getting this 5-year extension, and where do you see Chelsea Green?
I love it. I mean, I love Chelsea. I think she makes something out of whatever she's given. I just give her such mad props. So happy she's not going anywhere. With, not surprised by this news, but very happy. And I think they just need to. I mean, like, what would be a Royal Rumble at this point without Chelsea doing something silly in it?
Yeah,
I agree. We're gonna see that. Sorry, Court.
No, that's okay. I was gonna say, well, Will talked about it on Monday because he thinks Chelsea's gonna win Money in the Bank.
This all but confirms that Chelsea Green's 2026 is going to be huge, including starting in December with Chelsea Green teaming up with Ethan Page to fight for the AAA mixed tag titles. That's going to be going down in December, I believe, right? No, not December, November, in a couple more days, actually, at the Show Center in Mexico. They're going to take on Mr. Iguana and La Hydra. So I believe that we're going to see Ethan Page and Chelsea Green become the greatest North Americans ever, and they're going to win the AAA mixed tag titles. So she got a new contract. She's about to get some new gold on her waist. Not bad for the former Megan Miller. If you remember back in the day, she was Daniel Bryan's physical therapist. I'm sure Brie Bella is very excited to see Megan Miller get her money. I mean, I'm just happy for Chelsea Green. I've loved Chelsea Green from the moment I first saw her in Tough Enough back in the day. If you remember her in NXT, if you remember her just getting the injury bug, getting injured, coming back, getting injured again. She broke her wrist on SmackDown, and I believe got released like around the same period she dropped that Instagram post of her in the hospital bed when she got released. Revamped herself, worked herself, went on the indies, went back to TNA. I believe that's when she won the Knockouts Championship. So including the tag titles with Taya Valkyrie. So she has, fought her way back to prominence. And since returning to WWE, she's just been on a roll from tag champion with Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville gets injured. Then Piper Green comes on and Piper Nevin comes on, even though they're married, they're besties, yay. But, they come on and have their run to becoming the first United States champion, having those bangers with Michin, you know what I mean? And Chelsea Green, she's good because every time she loses, you get upset. You feel like she should be a double champ right now still. She should somehow be a tag team champ and United States champ. So, I'm very excited for Chelsea Green.
I'm very happy for Chelsea because at first I didn't get it when I first watched her, but after learning so much about her and also the story on how she had to everything from climbing up. It has been really cool to watch, especially if you have not checked out her interview with Chris Van Vliet. You really need to check it out because it's very interesting. And I loved how she talked about when she was in Lucha Underground and that match she had with Penta. She still talks about that match to this day, and even taking so many bumps. And I'm very proud of Chelsea being the first women's United States champion, and also really being creative and just getting outside the ring. I know recently she was at the sports journalism firm, like she was at a forum for sports, like sports business journalism, which I thought was really, really cool for her to see, to get these opportunities. And also seeing the post that she has on socials, she's like milking it. I just wish it kind of transitioned a lot on TV, but everybody's been asking for her, and hopefully we do see her in the women's title pick on SmackDown, because I know Tiffy's working with Jade, but I wouldn't mind seeing Chelsea kind of sneak her way in there.
Yeah, I would love that for 2026. You know, we're going to say that I enjoy Chelsea football. I got my Chelsea football on. We won today. Blue is the color, and for Chelsea, green is the color. She getting that money and that gold. By the way, the Chelsea green logo is like based upon the Chelsea football logo, by the way, which big pop for that.
Oh, see, I'm an Arsenal fan.
That is funny.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, congrats to y'all. Like, just don't like poo-poo the rest of the season, but you guys should be holding up the Premier League trophy at the end of the season after finishing second, like 3 seasons in a row? Yeah. So shouts to the Gunners. This is women's wrestling and football talk here.
See?
It is. See, there you go. It's football talk, because you're getting football and you're also getting wrestling too. But congratulations again to Chelsea Green. She deserves a deal. We're so happy for her, and also seeing her on SmackDown. But also, speaking of Miss Tiffany Stratton, we do want to wish a congratulations to her, because she is just continues making history as women's champion. She is now the third longest reigning WWE women's champion of all time, specifically. And also, she has entered the history books. She celebrated the accomplishments by sharing the statistics on her social media. She's at 299 days in her reign, and she ranks only behind Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch with the longest single reign of the championship. We know she's been having a role here. I mean, of course, the opponent she had, it's been a little bit mixed and a little bit crazy, but she has stood her ground as women's champion. But just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on Tiffany's reign so far. I know we talked about this last couple of weeks regarding her reign, but just wanted to get your quick thoughts on this latest accomplishment from Miss Tiffy.
So I'm not the biggest Tiffany fan. Congrats to her on this reign. I think she just has a lot. I think she has a lot of room to improve, is what I will say. But with that, you know, like, I just feel like the whole thing with her and Charlotte was a little bit of a debacle, but I think they clearly still trust her a lot to have not taken that belt off of her yet.
Yeah, I think that delayed pause you heard at first was how we feel about it. It's just kind of been, you know, cool. She got the big moment that defeated Nia Jax at the beginning of the year, and it's been champ for 300 days, but you really can't grasp anything about her run. It's pretty much it's Tiffy time and the prettiest moonsault ever. Other than that, we haven't really seen any type of personal development. We saw the WrestleMania feud with Charlotte and how just icky and messy that was, and it really hasn't been anything since with her, in my opinion. I think that she's better as a heel. They're trying to force her down as a face just because one, you know, Western Australia crowd got hyped for her last year, but it's not doing it for me. And I'm really excited to see Jade take this off of her. I don't think it's going to happen this Saturday, but I think Jade will be women's champion eventually. And then maybe we slide into Jade and Chelsea, maybe, or Chelsea wins the Rumble and comes after the Women's World Championship. But it just doesn't move me. It hasn't moved me from like the moment she won it.
It's kind of crazy the way that she won it, because I was on Honey's watch along on the night she actually won the title. But it has been very interesting. It's just been very hard because I think Will talks about this on Kayfabe probably last week or 2 weeks ago. The roster on SmackDown has been not so great because it's very hard for Tiffy to have really good, strong opponents. And also, of course, with Charlotte and everything, because she had to go through a divorce, she had to go through a lot of messy stuff outside of the ring, and that was very hard to do. And also with the fact, too, she did have a solid match with Stephanie. Of course, the match with Jade against SummerSlam, that was a bit of a debacle, but also they have to really think on what ladies, because I wouldn't mind seeing her taking on Alexa Bliss. I would not mind seeing her go one-on-one, like as we mentioned, Chelsea Green. I would even love to see her go against Piper Niven or Alba Fire one-on-one, just to really see that, or even Selena Vega even going one-on-one with her. And I think it's really hard because you're not giving her that many opponents to work with a bit. And I would love to see the chemistry that she has with the rest of the ladies in that roster. So I don't blame much on Tiffy because I don't know because whoever's doing, well, we know Road Dogg handles SmackDown, but whoever the rest of the people handling that creative, you really need to think of something fast, because obviously, of course, we do have Saturday night's main event happening this weekend between Tiffany and Jade, and obviously we're gonna do our bold predictions this Friday. But I mean, Tiffany has been a solid ring. It's just you got to give her better storylines and better chemistry, or
Yeah,
give her
Road
more.
Dogg. Yeah, Road Dogg has to realize there's more women that could challenge for the title other than Nia Jax, other than Jade Cargill. That's pretty much every match has been against either Nia Jax or Jade Cargill, and then you sprinkle in that Evolution match back against Trish Stratus. But there hasn't been any single title defense from Tiffany Stratton where you thought that she might lose. The closest maybe was SummerSlam with her and Jade at first. But other than that, it's just we haven't seen you like run a gauntlet through the women's roster. It's been basically the same 2 or 3 opponents for the last, nearly 9 months.
Yeah.
So, we got to freshen things up. Maybe she needs to call her very, very rich, influential daddy. Remember that? Remember she had a rich, influential
I
daddy?
love that part of the character.
Remember that? What happened to that? Like, at least they had some depth. Like,
That's Sean right there. You gotta tell
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels. Hello.
Make her daddy. Just make her daddy Vince. They'll wake it up.
Listen, I don't want to see Brock. I don't want to see Vince. Okay.
Well, hopefully Tiffany, because as we said, we're going to do our bold prediction for Saturday night's main event this Friday, and also happening on Friday Night SmackDown. But we do want to provide a quick update because we did have some reports yesterday regarding the Rotunda family. Most specifically, Mike, as people know him as IRS. Apparently, there's been a lot of mixed reports because apparently some people were saying he was in hospice care, but the entire Rotunda family released a statement to clarify his health status. The statement confirmed that his brother-in-law, Barry Windham, misspoke not intentionally when he mentioned that Mike Rotunda was in hospice care. The family clarified that Mike is not in hospice, but is instead in a rehabilitation center. They revealed that he suffered a massive heart attack on September 20th, was in a coma for a week, and spent over a month hospitalized. He has since transitioned to a rehabilitation center where the family remains hopeful and focused on his recovery. The family expressed deep gratitude for the outpouring love, prayers, and support, and while asking for privacy, warmly welcome continued prayers, good energy, and healing thoughts for his recovery.
Listen, okay. This story had a lot of us mad emotional trying to figure out what was going on. Hospital's going on. And then I read the statement and they're like, he's transitioned. I was like, transitioned? Oh, to a rehabilitation center. Okay. Y'all gotta pay those words. But yeah, I'm very happy that Mike Rotunda is on the road to recovery. It's been a rough 2 or 3 years for the Rotunda family. Hence why we haven't seen Uncle Howdy, aka Bo Dallas, aka Taylor Rotunda, son of Mike Rotunda, brother of Bray Wyatt, for a while. So You know, just very happy to see that. I mean, Barry Windham, come on, bruh. You know, like, man, Uncle Barry out here misspeaking, and he remind me of my uncles. Just be talking about everything. You know, your cousin foot got cut off, and like your cousin just like stubbed their toe, and it's like, oh my God, Uncle Barry, what? Oh, no, it's okay. Like, so I'm just happy that that IRS is okay. If you have time, go back and watch some IRS matches, man. I mean, not even IRS, like watch him when he was like with Varsity Club. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Mike Rotunda, like legit badass dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, like just really go back and like watch his stuff. Also, if I'm chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he had the original Real American theme. The US Express had Real American.
I think he did.
Really?
Yeah. Like Barry Windham and Michael Rotunda were the US Express, and Real American was their theme. So Hulk Hogan heard that and was like, kind of like that theme. But yeah. Shouts to IRS. If anybody gonna do this, it's him. Grim Reaper, you ain't pay your taxes, so IRS is coming for you, buddy. He's coming to collect.
Victoria, you want to have any thoughts?
I mean, it was like a happy, we're like, you know, like where we thought he was, or at least when I hear hospice, where I thought he was, versus like, okay, he's recovering, and he's a strong man. But I also like the moment they said heart with what happened with Bray Wyatt and his heart problems, it just was also a little like, oh, this poor family has gone through so much in the last several years. Can I catch a break?
It's hard to really sunk this in because, and this is one of the lessons I had to learn working in PR is don't post anything if you don't know the whole sources of the story. Because when I first read this, I was like, wait, he's in hospice care? And then when Leilani Kai posted it, I'm like, wait a minute. And then the next day when we found out, I'm like, oh, he's recovering from a heart attack. So I think that's just something, and I know myself and TK, we talked about this even on WWT After Dark, because wrestling media, sometimes it just, you take things with a grain of salt and just want to get the clicks without checking the facts first. So just a little teaser and tip, just make sure that you recheck all your sources and you don't spew anything. And also, especially because we've seen this play out many times with good old Uncle Dave when he got apparently the death wrong of one half of the Wild Samoans a couple months ago. So just be mindful and make sure to don't react to anything. Just make sure to read all your credible sources and don't put out false information.
Yeah, well wishes for Mike Rotunda, Aaron R. Shyster, IRS, and you know, maybe like we can like get work to lift the gimmick, and we see him somewhere on the Cayman Islands making a big deposit. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go offshore, avoid these taxes, and this is my way. See you guys later. Forever living the gimmick. Let's go.
Yes, so we definitely send a well-wish prayers to everybody in the Rotunda family in this time of need, and do want to wish a speedy recovery. But shifting gears, because we do have another person that is rising to the top. We found out House of Glory, Mercedes Moné, will be at Super Clash on Saturday, November 15th. This was officially announced on House of Glory social pages. Also, I saw AEW do a retweet on Mercedes social accounts. So she will be returning to House of Glory. The last time, because I know she has previously attended House of Glory a few times, she faced off against Indy Hartwell, and she also did come back as well. But just wanted to get you guys' quick thoughts on Mercedes returning to House of Glory.
Get the bag, shouted. CEO, get the bag. And also hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your championship belts.
All of them.
Everything. Regular belts, your timing belt on your vehicle. Mercedes is coming for them all. Still unannounced exactly what she's doing there. So are we going to have an open challenge? I believe Indy Hartwell remains the Hog Women's Wrestling Champion, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So are they going to kind of tease this and run this back? It feels like they're like announce it, but also maybe to have like a surprise open challenge type of thing. Who knows? It just says she's in action. So I can't see her returning just for a simple LOL exhibition. So Indy Hartwell, watch your back, shouty.
That is true. Yeah, they didn't announce much. They just announced that she's going to be there. I would think because I feel like the big event expo is happening either that weekend or the weekend before, so maybe that's why she's going to be there. But I'm very curious on what other superstars. I'm always like to see curious, especially with House of Glory, because many people trained at House of Glory. Obviously, you had Private Party train at House of Glory. You had Daniel Garcia train at House of Glory, obviously trained by the Amazing Red. Shout out to him. If you have not heard of him, go check out his matches on TNA. Just check out all his matches. And obviously, the Hardys are the reigning House of Glory tag team champions. So,
yeah.
Hopefully,
ain't they cousins?
Who?
Mercedes and Amazing Red, they cousins, right?
I don't even know about that.
Something like that. Yeah. Let me not go Barry Windham and just start like spreading stuff. Yeah, you're right.
I don't even know.
I know, right?
I don't even know on that, but definitely very curious, and hopefully we should get more developing details soon as we get closer to the event with House of Glory, because they're going to have the CEO. And speaking of the CEO, we do have AEW Dynamite Fright Night happening later on at the top of the hour with yours truly doing a Timeless Elite Wednesday watch along. And get your guys and your ghouls out, because we're going to have 2 hours on the final Wednesday before Halloween. After what happened last week, we're going to see a rematch between Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley. Obviously, there may be some chaos between the Diff Riders and Conglomeration, but hopefully we do see round 2. We're also going to have the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions Tournament quarterfinals match. Queen Aminata and my gal Jamie Hayter taking on the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue and Julia Hart in one of the rounds. All 4 of these ladies have bad blood with each other, so this is going to escalate more and get us closer to a women's blood and guts match. We're also going to have a Fright Night Fatal 4-way match where the winner faces at Hangman Adam Page at AEW Full Gear. We have Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, Samoa Joe, and Hook all in the same ring. And the winner will be facing off against Hangman. And I'm sure Hangman is probably going to be watching, and he still has bad blood against Samoa Joe. We're also going to have a Fright Night 4-way fight where the winners face off against Bro Dino at AEW Full Gear. We're going to have FTR taking on the Young Bucks, taking on the richest tag teams in the Fatal 4-way match, Jet Speed and Jurassic Express, after winning more money at Collision this past week. And obviously, of course, we're going to have the Don Callis family do their summit, but I could care less about John Callis. But I'm very curious with the dynamics between Okada and Kazuchika Okada, because that's been brewing for weeks, but I could care less about Don Callis for all I care. And we're also going to have Darby Allin, my main squeeze, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, taking on Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta in a trick-or-treat tornado tag team match. All this and more happening on AEW Dynamite. And just wanted to get you guys' quick thoughts on what match that you're looking forward to watch on Friday night.
I'm actually really enjoying the women's tag team tournament. Like, I usually get annoyed with tournaments on AEW because there's like 3 like orange and green, and I don't know. But like this one is like, it makes sense, and it's been actually very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata, 2 of the internet's favorites. I'm a hater. I enjoy the Queen as well. I think Sisters of Sin go over today. Okay, first of all, the only actual factual tag team in this tournament are Sisters of Sin.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think they're going to win it, but I would like to see the actual tag team get a win even if it is at the expense of Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. I really want to see that. I don't want to see a tag team tournament where the actual tag team with a tag team name doesn't even get a tag team victory. So, but that's what makes us want to watch. That's what makes us interested. Obviously, the dynamic with Mercedes Moné and Athena teaming up, free Athena from the shackles of ROH and get her on AEW television somehow, some way. This will be the way. I ain't mad at it at all. So want to see how that goes down. Also, very interested in this four-way with Samoa Joe and Hook and Ricochet, and with I'm missing somebody, Darby Allin. No, not Darby Allin, Bobby Lashley, excuse me. What we haven't seen Samoa Joe and Hook interact since their little weird what are we breakup. So I could see a swerve happening here in which like Ricochet or Lashley actually wins this because Joe and Hook are kind of too occupied with each other. We still got to close that ring. Like Tony Khan, check your Apple Watch. You need to close that ring. Like the Hook Samoa Joe ring has not closed yet. It hasn't resolved itself. So it feels like, you know, in this four-way, there's two beefs, obviously with Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and The Demand, and Samoa Joe and Hook. So this is going to be well booked. I can see a swerve with like Ricochet somehow still in this. I feel like Joe and Hook, they're not going to run back yet because you still need Joe to go crazy and really become the badass Samoa Joe. And, oh, by the way, also defend, you know, the AEW Trios Championships. You remember those?
Yep. All that and more. And it's I'm laughing at Dylan's comment. But anyways, I'm very interested in not just the ladies in the chat, but also the Fatal 4-Way tag team match, because there's still a lot of beef after the Money 8-man tag team match after at Collision, because Jet Speed and Jurassic Express are actually, Jurassic Express is double richer because they won back-to-back money matches. So, hey, I mean, when it rains, it pours. And also, very curious with the Fatal 4-Way match between Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, Samoa Joe, and Hook. Obviously, of course, because Bobby Lashley has not had a pin. He hasn't lost since he's been in AEW. And it's crazy because he debuted last year on Fright Night. So it's been over a year. And also the fact too, he has pinned a former AEW world champion in Swerve Strickland. So I don't see why not he doesn't get an opportunity. But I'm happy to see Bobby Lashley get his opportunity. But all this and more happening at the top of the hour with yours truly as she gets you ready for Halloween. And I may dress up. I just don't know who I'm going to be yet because I'm still figuring out because it is Halloween. But speaking of tricks and everything else and everything we do have a new initiative that Women's Wrestling Talk is doing, and that is their archive that they have that's created by our boss lady. And also feel free to support this initiative and keep women's wrestling history alive and well.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's gonna pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
All this and more happening. And said, I saw what you said in the chat. You tend to forget who has a win, and that is my lady, the timeless one, Toni Storm. So remember that, because she is still timeless. But speaking of, because I feel like Mercedes, we've been talking about her, but speaking of another person that also still has issues with Mercedes, Willow Nightingale. She actually did an interview, and she said she wants to win back the TBS championship. Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron are going to face off, obviously, against Mercedes Moné and Athena in the first round of the tournament. That will crown the inaugural women's tag team champions. And obviously, we know there's been a solid history in AEW, even before AEW, between Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale. And speaking with Rick, and I hope I don't say this right, Rick of the Takedown on Sports Illustrated, Nightingale talked about Monet's recent success and how she's doing all it takes to be that person for AEW. She was quoted, "I also think AEW has such a strong identity, and I know so many people are rooting for the homegrowns, and hey, listen, I root for us homegrowns too, but I think one of the key elements of all elite wrestling is passion, and that is something she just has pouring out of her. Do I want to be TBS champion 12 belts person? Yeah, who doesn't, right? We're all doing this because we want to be that. I can't be angry that I'm not, because she's doing all it takes to be that person. She talks the talk and she walks the walk." When asked about a potential TBS championship rematch, Willow Nightingale noted that she loves a crack at the title, but not before she wins tag team gold. Hell yeah. I mean, listen, yes, but I got to get some tag titles first. And that kind of leads it. And we were actually talking about this because Willow Nightingale has not gotten a rematch after she lost the TBS title. Could she be the one? Could she be the one to dethrone Mercedes Moné for that TBS title?
I think I'm giving a little circle because, like, again, another circle that he needs to close up. Like, let's get this going. It would be fabulous. I love Willow. I think she's phenomenal. And like at some point, we gotta drop some of these belts.
I agree. And Willow Nightingale, words cannot express enough how much I love Willow Nightingale. She is in my opinion, the face of the AEW women's division. Whatever you give her, she makes it work. Wrestling, hardcore wrestling, singles, mixed tags, tag teams, wherever you put her on the card, she shines. That's how you know it's the definition of a superstar. It is not where you put her on the card. She's going to be the main event in whatever position you put her. Every time you see her on the screen, she stands out. And I know Willow Nightingale has the smile anyway. Listen, Willow, I need you to be talking like Tupac talk to Biggie on Hit 'Em Up. Okay, first off, Mercedes, F your belt, F this, F everything you love about. I don't even like Mercedes. I drive Lexuses. You know, like anything you need to do to really get your point across that you are her. Okay. It's been over a year since we've seen since we've seen Willow with gold. It's been a year since she lost with Mercedes. They are due for a third solo match, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We had the New Japan Strong, in which they made the audible after Mercedes destroyed her ankle and Willow wins. But I mean, that's the blood feud right there. And then you have the second one for the TBS title. So if there's anybody who's going to take it off of Mercedes, it should be Willow, and it should be used to elevate her. I'm all about my 2026 Willow Nightingale AEW Women's World Champion agenda. It's going to happen, and I want to see it happen at All In, actually, at Wembley. Like, that would just be the perfect crown. But, you know, she's too over to not have, you know, it happen. So, you know, I think that Mercedes and Willow are kind of like the money match. And if you're going to remove the belt collector gimmick from Mercedes, and one of the people she should lose to is Willow, and then Mercedes become AEW Women's World Champion, she finally fulfills her prophecy when she focuses on one title, and then let her drop the Willow and let the ball win with Willow, man. Like, Willow just has it. It just has that thing that regardless of how long I talk, she has the it factor that sometimes you can't even explain. The aura, as the children say, she aura farms.
I'm laughing at Seth's coming right here. I'm like, no, it's not an anti-pin. Listen, it's a
pro Willow. Smell the flowers, said. Smell the flowers, said. We love willows over here.
And
Not the new car smell of Mercedes.
And you know what? Anybody knows me, I'm always a huge fan of Toni Storm because she's definitely evolved. But if I had to pick another person who's a face of that AEW women's division, it's Willow. Anytime you see the crowd's reaction, she just goes crazy. And the thing about it is, it's because if you look back, she's been in the ring with a lot of top guys in AEW. Like her and Adam Copeland teamed up in a mixed tag match against Brody King and Julia Hart. She's had some business with the Death Riders, which I'm still waiting for her to kick Marina Shafir's ass, because I've been asking for a year for them to go one-on-one with each other. She's helping out her friend Orange Cassidy. They got the conglomeration, which actually that's working very well. And you need that face factor. You need a face group to go against like all odds in that. And also she was in Anarchy in the Arena back at Double or Nothing, which was really good. And she had that killer street fight with Chris Statlander last year at All Out. They really took it to the limits. And also with the fact too, she has done a lot. And I just kept thinking about this. I was actually mad that she dropped the title, which was less than a month for the TBS. I was very upset about that. But I think if there's any other person, because I've said this many times, I've said this with Alex Windsor, Jamie Hayter, and all of these stuff. I think if there is one person that can take it, it is Willow Nightingale, because she has redemption. I would like to see her get something that she never got a rematch for. She never got a rematch, and also seeing how she can elevate the belt with the TBS title. She has done frequent appearances outside of wrestling, so she has done it as well. So we shall see on that. And also, she is teaming up with Jet Speed to take on FTR and that Weasel Stokely. So I also want to see Willow kick that Weasel's ass in a heartbeat. But Willow is definitely somebody that I would like to see thrive. I'm very happy for her. And Kane, I know you said you want Willow to be AEW Women's Champion All In. I would like to see Jamie Hayter do it, only because she has not wrestled at Wembley next year, and I want it to be at her home country. So
they gotta they got some shows in Australia that was once a part of the British Empire. So Jamie Hayter might have to just settle for that, because you know what we doing? We team Willow out here, and I'm gonna need to have this with a championship belt around it eventually. This is how y'all think I'm playing with my Willow Nightingale agenda. Okay, I got the plushie, the Willow Nightingale plushie. I got it when they were in Oceanside. AEW was down in Oceanside, California. I was like, I got to cop this immediately. So Willow out here moving merch. I practice what I preach. Willow Nightingale 2020. I'm gonna have this against the Harley Cameron puppet or something. Have the puppets come out. Have a Willow puppet as well. Like bust it out.
You're giving Harley Cameron some ideas. She needs to do, outside of Minnie Monet, she needs to do a Willow puppet. I need to see a Willow puppet.
Side note. But also, though, I like the weird thing that's going on. It's like a triangle, right? Because Harley is friends with Chris Statlander.
Yes.
But he's also now Babes of Wrath with Willow Nightingale. And we haven't really seen all three of them cross paths yet. So I'm kind of
only once. And then on top of that, you have Chris Statlander dealing with that runt Wheeler Yuta. So it's like, I don't even know what's going on there.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
go home, Wheeler. Go home. He reminds me of a annoying boy protagonist on like a '90s television sitcom or something. He's like Screech or something.
Well, hopefully we do see Willow, because we all love Willow. I mean, it's like, how can you not like her? She's doing her thing. She has done a lot of opportunities outside of the ring. She was at New York Comic Con this year, so hopefully. Fingers crossed if she's there next year. But I am definitely on the train of her being TBS champion. Another female that we have not seen in a while, Thunder Rosa. Earlier this year, she had to take a break because of injury, but she's expecting to return to the ring fairly soon. She has been out of action after AEW All In, where she announced she would be taking a break from wrestling. In an interview with Midnight Movie Trash, Thunder Rosa reveals she is expecting to return to the ring fairly soon. I'm actually going to be a part of the mega procession of Katrinas, which is in Mexico City. There's like 3 million people that are going to be a part of this thing, and I'm one of the people that are being, pulling the flag in the front. So I'm really excited as a Catarina myself. It's been a journey, and having to celebrate my culture in America, and now I have to celebrate my culture in Mexico. That's really fun. I'm also doing a lot of work with the NFL and the Texans. That's been a lot of fun, and right now I'm just focusing on continuing my rehab for the injuries that I just had a couple months ago, and I have really good news. Everything's going really well, so I'm expecting to return to the ring fairly soon.
We need that. For those who don't know, Katrina's is the Day of the Dead festival that they do.
Yeah.
And we know that's part of Willow's gimmick, as you see. Willow's, as still in my mind, as Thunder Rosa's gimmick, as you see, she paints her face. But yeah, we kind of need Thunder Rosa back. Like we last saw her against Athena back at Supercard of Honor,
Yes.
and then she was in the Gauntlet as well back at All in Texas. So, and she came back with the OG theme with the Thunder Rosa. Like we need that badass Thunder Rosa back. It seems like she never got the proper footing following the whole sandbag Britt Baker thing. So I think her having this pause and getting a chance to miss her, and you think about it, I've been able to encounter Thunder a bunch of times. She's like one of the most personable people you'll ever meet. Like you would never think that this woman gets in the ring and smashes faces. So just from a personal standpoint, I'm rooting for her to kind of get back into the title picture, whether it's the TBS title or the AEW Women's World title.
Victoria, you have any thoughts you want to add?
I mean, I will be happy to see her back. I do think she has been missed in this whole thing, and I think there is a void when she's gone. So happy she's feeling better, of course, number one, and yeah, get her back. Come on, let's go.
She needs to be back, because for me, I think, because I've said this with Toni Storm, her and Jamie Hayter has an unorthodox story that needs to be finished. I actually wouldn't mind going back with Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm, because when Toni Storm first debuted, that was one of the few rivalries that she had with Thunder Rosa when Thunder Rosa was AEW Women's Champion. And plus, I wouldn't mind seeing Thunder Rosa go heel. I think that would be pretty cool to see her go heel, because I just realized there's not that many heels in AEW. I mean, outside of like Marina Shafir or Mercedes and Athena, you need another strong heel to kind of equal. And I wouldn't mind seeing Thunder Rosa be heel.
Yeah, and think about that. We haven't even gotten, whether heel or face, we haven't gotten Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Moné yet.
Yeah, they have not faced off against each other.
How about that?
They have not.
Got a lot of matches that we haven't got with Thunder since we've had the new crop of women's wrestlers come to AEW.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you're right. Megan Bayne. That is true. Megan Bayne as well. But need another strong heel in that women's division. And I feel like Thunder Rosa fits more as a heel than she does as a face. But happy to see her back. And she's been a friend of the show. And I actually did see her at WrestleCon too. So she's familiar with us because she's a friend of the show.
Yes. La Familia.
She's
familiar with La Familia, yes.
She is. She is. And happy for Thunder Rosa. And we do have one more story we got to wrap up. And this is actually a really fun story, an interesting story. The Motor City Machine Guns are launching a special coffee blend with New Order coffee roasters. On actually today on social, Chris Sabin took to social media to announce that he and Alex Shelley are teaming up with New Order Coffee Roasters to launch their own coffee blend. The company, which is local to southeastern Michigan, is selling 12-ounce bags of the coffee blend for $25 on their website. And of course, this is from the New Order Coffee Roasters. Rev up your mornings with the Motor City Machine Guns blend, crafted for the high-octane energy of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, current WWE superstars and former WWE World Tag Team Champions. To match the world travel experience of the Motor City Machine Guns, we combine their favorite characteristics from each of the 3 primary coffee growing regions of the world to make a blend as original as the Motor City Machine Guns themselves.
I mean, this is perfect. The Motor City Machine Guns should gift this coffee to the writers of SmackDown so they can wake up and remember that the Motor City Machine Guns are, in fact, on SmackDown. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Give some to Road
I was
Dogg.
gonna-
What? You guys are on here? I'll put you in.
Yeah. I mean, I do love me some Road Dogg. He's like one of my favorites. He's just funny. But this, I have a deep love for the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't think I've expressed it a lot on the show, but I just adore them so much. So, like, give me all the coffee. Let's go. Super excited about this.
I know. I'm very excited about this. I always love it when some wrestlers do that. I mean, hey, if Prince Nana, he got his own coffee on AEW. Why not the Motor City Machine Gun? So happy to see them do their thing with coffee. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe they could bring it over here because maybe the team at WWT could try out some of their coffee and give a review as well. I don't see why not.
Wouldn't the Motor City Machine Guns, if they had coffee and coffee kind of looks like ammunition powder, why wouldn't they just call it like gunpowder or something? Or is that too...
Look at you. Look at you doing some PR and some creative.
Motor City Machine Gun powder. And like, I think people will get it, I think, right? Like, not to actually put in a musket and fire off, but it's like, you know, delicious. I don't know. And also petition to get the TNA theme for Motor City Machine Guns back, please.
Yes,
please. I hate their theme so much.
Yeah, they need to get their theme back.
Because it's Malta City, and they come out and do that. But the whole raise your fist thing, like, you can't do the fist, but then do the mitt for Michigan, and it's too many directions. It's like a cha-cha slide and an electric slide at once. It's too much stuff happening. We need to just do the mitt, do the thing. That's the thing we know you for. Like we've seen for the last 20 years. Come on, Road Dogg.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking more about that on Friday because that's Honey's territory. Because I know she's been telling that to Road Dogg since she's been handling SmackDown as well. But that pretty much wraps up our edition of WWT Live because we covered everything on Wednesday and we're get you ready for AEW Dynamite. So this is the place we got to get out of here and do our thing. But Kane, where can the people find you?
Yes, I am at Kane McCoy. You see it below. Blue Sky, Instagram. I'm trying to get my Twitter back. So again, if you know anybody with Twitter, with X, just let me have it. You know, I'm sorry for the tweets. Not sorry for the tweets, but you know, because I was out here, you know. Yeah. But yeah, somebody basically hacked my Twitter and changed the recovery email. Is what we can guess happened. So I don't know if it was like the Chris Jericho hacker gimmick, or if it was Sami Callihan hacker gimmick, or like GTV for those people who watched wrestling in 1999. But I just want my Twitter account back, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't do nothing wrong, you know. Just, you know, do that for me.
Victoria, where can the people find you?
You can find me on most platforms at Victoria Waco. Waco spelled weird. Just look down here, y'all. And mostly on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I have a website. Find me all the places. Come hang out with me.
Well, that is really good. But people can always find me chirping sporadically as I can on WWT Live. You will find me at the top of the hour for Timeless Elite Wednesdays. This is not CEO Wednesdays. Like, don't believe anything he says because he tries to say it, but
you heard that said?
He's not here. So it's Timeless Elite Wednesday. But you get to spend top of the hour with me, guys and ghouls, because it is Fright Night and you don't know what I'm going to be dressed up as for Halloween. So you just have to wait to see what I'm going to dress up as. Also, feel free to follow me on at CourtneyNJ11 on all my socials for Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to check out my interview with Georgia Smith, the daughter of the British Bulldog. Davey Boy Smith is up on WWT socials on YouTube. It was a really great interview, and I was very happy to do that. Also, on the content that I'm posting up and all the coming weeks, make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling because I'm going to be on their show tonight shortly after WWT Live. So make sure to check that. Nice. Also, feel free to check out the next show I'll do commentary for is Friday, November 7th. Girl Power Wrestling. If you love women's wrestling, if you love independent wrestling, feel free to come out and support. Very, very, very fun. And also definitely want to shout out to everybody in the chat on WWT live today. Obviously, shout out to our producer from the future, Dylan, Jeffrey, Boza. Of course, got to give a shout out to Ced for joining in the chat, cousin Ron, all of you for joining as well. We do want to thank all of you for joining, especially what's happening. Sending well wishes to everybody affected with the hurricane in Jamaica. There's so much happening right now, but definitely sending all the thoughts and everything else. And we will see you back on Friday, and make sure to support Women's Wrestling Talk. Oh, and also, before we do anything else, we want to give a shout out to our professor, Gerard Bonner. He is Teflon G. You call him the professor, Hollywood G. He has been doing his thing. I know he was in WWT with us, but he's doing his thing. He's doing Ashe Wrestling, Southern Honor. Make sure to check out all his work. And also make sure to check out Black Wrestling Alliance. He does on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I had a chance to hop in on a few episodes, so make sure to check it out. So sending up wishes to the professor as well.
Happy birthday, G.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and all of the team from WWT Live as well. And make sure to follow Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet, and we will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.